Ilhan Omar was asked by, I believe, a Daily Caller Foundation reporter about the Democrats paying homage to the Maryland father, and this was her response. Watch this.
Congresswoman Omar, I'm Miles Morale with the Daily Caller News Foundation. Do you think more of your Democratic colleagues should be traveling to El Salvador to advocate on behalf of Rodrigo Garcia?
I think you should off. Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, what? Congresswoman?
off.
Who should?
You.
Why me?
We're not taking any questions right now, but here you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Natalie, I am reminded of the iconic Michelle Obama speech, "When they go low, we go high." And of course, Ilhan Omar exemplifying the fact that they just take the high road every single time. And, and that's just what they do. Considering the fact that the biggest thing that Dems have, or the libs have in general, is this good feeling, heartfelt, motivational. How does that play into that? Or is it the fact that they're just getting so frustrated, the only thing they can resort to is yelling epithets at people?
Yeah, they seem to like the F word lately. I think of like Jasmine Crockett, who said, I think F you when she was asked about Elon Musk. They just like to insert that in anywhere. And honestly, I know we're not surprised by this, but it is a little bit shocking that she's a sitting representative and she's asked what is a legitimate question and she doesn't even try to answer it or try to spin the answer or even just ignore it. That she just like lets that fly out and then doubles down and then triples down later on social media. And honestly, I'm kind of in a minority on the right. I don't even really like it when someone like Nancy Mace gets a little too argumentative, I think, and not professional and doesn't represent us well. But then Ilhan Omar comes in and is like, hold my beer, and does something that's 100,000 times worse. And I mean, she's supposed to serve at the will of the people. And I really just don't think that this is it. It's just also like a walking billboard for why Democrats shouldn't be in power anymore and why we ironically need to be strict on immigration, which is what she was kind of asked about there. So
Yeah,
didn't want to
you
answer.
mentioned that tweet too. She retweeted that and like said, no, I stand by what I say. F off, spelled it out. Chris, she's got to run for re-election every 2 years. This is a congressional seat, so 2 years comes pretty fast. I would imagine anybody in that district, even Democrats trying to primary her from her own party, would be running that ad nonstop. Do you think at this point, given all of the things she said, is this the breaking point that gets her booted out of office? Do you think that's going to make any difference whatsoever?
No, no. In the district of Somalia, where she is, she has a lot of supporters, and this is just going to be a feather in her cap. I don't think that she has to worry about it at all. In fact, out of all the Democrats, I think that she's probably one of the safest. Let's be perfectly honest. People love her, but this new face of the Democrat Party that we're seeing, you mentioned Jasmine Crockett, Ilhan Omar is right in there. Is this the dark woke that we have been told about, where you're getting a little bit rude, a little bit crude, and you're letting the swear words fly? It's okay if that's what you want to do. I thought you were going to play the clip of her talking about American values, which I thought was even funnier because, she married her brother and her father was, complicit in genocide when he was in his home country. So there's that. But no, I don't think she has to worry about re-election. I think she's going to be good to go. And I think that this is just emblematic of the left, and their supporters are going to eat this all the way up.
Oh, I disagree. I think Ilhan Omar perfectly represents traditional Christian American values, Chris. I don't see what you're talking about at all. Of course, I'm kidding. Speaking of people who I would say don't represent traditional American values, Tim Walz's daughter. And look, I'm not a big fan of pulling family members of powerful people into the conversation. But at the same time, if you're going to be out there talking with authority because your parent is the governor of a state, sorry, you're fair game. Here is the young little Walz talking about the new form of what probably will be the next white supremacist movement. Watch this.
Running as an act is political. And you know who taught me that? Tim Walz. The first thing he told me when I was first getting into it in high school was that running is a privilege, and being a part of the running community is a privilege that not all people have access to. Whether it be you just having the time to run, access to funds to buy the gear, access to, healthy quality foods that fuel you as you're training and as you're running, access to, a safe, stable situation that allows you to be in a good mental state to be able to run. All of those things are hard to come by. And if you have them and are a part of the running community, that is a privilege.
Yes. A new privilege has just dropped. Chris, do we push back on this sort of stuff, or do we just go, sure, you say this as much as you want, and see if people come over to your side and allow the everyday average person, who I think would look at that and roll their eyes, to do just that?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's not every day that a clip can come on and make Ilhan Omar seem a little bit more sane than we thought just moments ago, but here we are. When she says check your privilege with running, I just think of all those white European runners that are winning marathons and, the big races in the Olympics. And I think, yeah, you're right. You're right. This is a white supremacist sport. And then I think of the barefoot Ethiopian who won a marathon, with no gear at all. Check your privilege at the door, pal. Apparently, you're a Nazi as well. This is one of the most insane clips that I've seen from her, and she's been putting out a lot of clips. I agree with you, leaving the families out of it, but she has entered herself into this conversation. So at this point, she's fair game. And I just wonder, are you getting your talking points from, I don't know, Chat GPT? Like, is there a woke version of Chat GPT where she gets all of her talking points? Because they all seem very, very sterile and very similar to the last video that we saw. But she's insane. I don't understand it. And she said this is the first thing her dad taught her when she got into running. Check your privilege.
Ridiculous. Natalie, so is there a next step for this? What can we predict is going to be the next version of privilege or white supremacy or whatever it is? Is it baking? Is it mowing your lawn? What's the next thing? And should we start a gambling pool on what they're going to come up with next?
I don't know. Maybe being sane is a white privilege. I don't really know. So I think someone needs to take her phone away, because, like Chris said, it's like every week some stupid video comes out, and she's not doing her dad any favors. I mean, when Tim opens his mouth, he's not doing himself any favors, but his daughter is not helping at all. And when I first watched this, I assumed she meant running for office, which would like maybe kind of make sense. But then I realized she meant just running down the street, which makes no sense whatsoever. And I really can't believe that this is what her dad taught her, like Chris said. I mean, maybe he said being part of the running team is a privilege, not a right. But did he genuinely, I guess it's Tim Walz, like he genuinely meant that running is white privilege. And I mean, she tries to tie it into climate change and how if we deport people, they can't be part of the running community. I mean, it makes no sense at all whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you run too much, you might change the weather on accident, and that would be bad.